This is Tim Hurlbut with Ambiguous Adventures, and today we're going to talk about our foolproof method for buying a property that is successful every single time. So make sure you stick around to our third tip, as that's the most valuable. The number one thing that I will tell you, I feel like everybody misses or doesn't seem to necessarily think initially, is everyone is looking to buy a property in a certain destination. I'm not in disagreement that it could work and that for many people it does work, but I will tell you that a lot of times the people that we talk with, their ROI, their earnings percentage is usually a lot lower than ours is because our cost acquisition, or basically what we buy the properties for, is so low. What is the difference and what is the secret? This is secret number one. We don't buy properties that are in end user destinations. We buy properties that are pass-through destinations. A pass-through destination is this. It may be a place that people choose as a vacation area or where they want to stay, and they may be there for a short time, or maybe they even choose to stay there. But I will tell you that 80 to 90% of our guests are passing through. They are on their way to some place, but they want a place to stay for a couple days or even one night. And in doing so, we're able to capture a large volume of traffic that there just is not that same type of competition in an end destination. We always look at where does the traffic pass through and where is a place that people would be most likely to stop if they were on their way somewhere. So for us in the Oregon coast, we accidentally stumbled on that secret, but as we continue to buy and improve and expand our properties, we realized this held true almost every single time. So I would challenge you, if you are looking at buying your first property, think about what it is that you're looking to accomplish and how open-minded you may be versus the normal standard pick a place that you think everyone will show up to. We have a lot of clients that we work with that are trying to figure out how to get their properties at the same type of occupancy percentage that we are, and quite honestly, I don't know if they can get them there. Whereas if you're a pass-through destination that's basically open 365, 24 hours, 7 days a week, then in that situation, you're gonna be able to capture 100% of that market traveling through, or at least have that opportunity to. And here in Southern California, Palm Springs, Big Bear, are basically two of the biggest places that are known for vacation rentals. And what we notice in places that have this type of competition, you're usually competing not just against normal people like you and me, but a lot of times you're competing against corporations that have a lot more money to spend than you might in order to attract people. So whether it be a bigger swimming pool or a bigger square footage, we always look to kind of establish and create our niche in a place that, again, it's not gonna come across the average person that's doing a search of the US of most profitable places to buy. And I will tell you that as we continue on our future journeys, we know that there's little places exist all over the country. And as we've opened our eyes to that, we've seen opportunities everywhere that we think lend themselves to this type of situation. Our current project is in a little town in Idaho, small town, 400 people, small population. And we feel pretty confident that it's gonna work. And if you wanna watch our next future video on this, you will see our little secret test that we run to kind of help us understand the analytics of whether or not we think this property will actually perform for us or not. Secret number two, we highly, highly recommend that you don't buy a property that is managed or governed by an HOA. Are we saying it doesn't work? Are we saying it can't work? We're not saying that. However, are we saying that by and large, do people now have a percentage or share of an opportunity to say that you can't do vacation rental or short-term rental? Absolutely, you open yourself up to that. Of our 4 properties, one of them's on an HOA, and it was literally simply a gate HOA. The only reason for the HOA is for the gate. No other rules and no other costs other than the annual price for the gate and for the trash. Once they found out that our intention was to run a vacation rental, they did everything they could to stop us from running, fearful that we were going to allow parties and large guests and just everything that people might see on the news as the negative news. But we were fortunately able to overcome that. But again, they tried everything from shutting us off from the trash, shutting us off from the gate. For future 5 years, 10 years, you never know when someone in that HOA decides to take control of that and say, hey, we no longer want these short-term vacation rentals. Secret number 3 is if you're able to find a property that you can monetize in multiple ways, that is really the secret to being able to grow your business or grow your portfolio in ways that most people can't grow theirs. And if you can run, let's just say 2 or 3 different properties or 2 or 3 different accommodations on one piece of land, odds are you probably have only got one mortgage. So for us, in realizing with our Treetop Lodge and our Treetop Tech Studio, we were able to run basically 2 properties for the price of 1 mortgage. It made a huge difference in our overall algorithm. Algorithm, that's so stupid. Huge difference in the algorithm. It made a huge difference in our revenue. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Now, you do have to make sure you are zoned correctly. I have seen people buy things with that intention in mind, and then they realize they bought it with only single family residence zoning, which meant they're only able to run 1 single family use resident. So a lot of times it may fall into commercial zoning, a lot of times it may fall into multi-use zoning, but you do need to make sure that you either have zoning that approves of that or a special use permit to be able to do those things. And in our situation, fortunately, we were able to do that on a special use permit. And if that's something we could have known 2.5 years ago when we first started, I think it would have shifted our journey a little bit differently. And I think, honestly, we'd probably be further ahead than we are even now. And that's, again, knowledge is power, right? And then the more power we have, the more better decisions we can make, the quicker we can get to our destination. But for us, trying to create financial freedom, be in a position where we can work on the terms we want to work and have that passive income, again, we realize all these little things can add up to really taking years off your life. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then please subscribe to our channel below and we'll continue bringing you content. I don't know, Alex, you want me to do it again? When I did the like button, is it better to use this? Yeah, right, it's always this, of course.